got it.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MANIACITV, man. Today, we got the real NBA YoungBoy story documentary, man. Listen, yesterday I asked y'all to give me some suggestions on some things to react to, man. Y'all said the King Von story documentary, and y'all say NBA YoungBoy story documentary, man. I'm pretty sure at least 90% of y'all that subscribe to this channel, y'all here for the NBA YoungBoy content, man. Y'all know how much we rock with YoungBoy on the channel. Definitely one of my favorite in the game right now. I feel like he the hottest in it right now, man. I feel like ain't nobody really touching YoungBoy as far as numbers go, as far as, you know, being the talk of the industry, man. He doing his thing right now. So we ain't even gonna waste no time. We gonna get into it right now here on MANIACITV, the real NBA YoungBoy story. Let's get it.
In this particular place, it was hard. It was hard for real. We ain't really had much now.
Man, YoungBoy really, man, elevate, man. From the jump, though, listen, from the jump, since he came in with that 38 baby, man, listen, he been doing his thing since then. He ain't been letting up. Let's get it, man.
Kentrell was born on October 20th, 1999 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He referred to Baton Rouge as a rare place with a different culture, atmosphere, and crooked police. He grew up without his father in the picture after he...
So that's his dad? He looked just like his dad and his mom, though, man. It's like when I see him next to his mom, he looked more like his mom. But right here, I can kind of see... I can see Pops in YoungBoy, man.
Culture, atmosphere, and crooked police. He grew up without his father in the picture after he was sentenced to 50+ years. His mother would move away because of this. She sent him to live with his grandparents on 38th and Chippewa Street at a young age with his half-siblings, one of them being his older brother, Pierre.
Biologic is my real brother.
When he was 4 years old, he fell off of a bed.
Y'all gonna think I'm real late. Y'all gonna think I'm slow. I did not know OG3 was so they blood related? I did not know that. I've been reacting to NBA YoungBoy music for at least 3 years, and I never knew that. I thought they was just close, you know, close friends, you know, grew up together. So they...
His older brother,
wow.
Pierre.
Biologic is my real brother.
When he was 4 years old, he fell off of a bed at his grandparents', breaking his neck. This forced him to wear a halo brace until his spine healed, which would leave permanent scars on his head. YoungBoy would stay in Baton Rouge with his grandma, who he says spoiled him whenever she could afford it. When talking of his grandma, he says she's the only woman he's ever really felt love from.
I always stay with my grandma, like my grandma took care of me. My grandma gave me anything I want. My grandma made me feel love. And when she died, I ain't never felt that feeling again. Only time I ever feel love is when I walk on stage.
Growing up, he was closest
and you know, that's like the granny love, man. And for me personally, man, you know, I used to, when my mom had to work, you know, long hours to take care of me, and I stayed with my great grandmother, Jessie May. It's like, you know, when she passed, man, I feel like I never really got to grieve properly, man. So it kind of still affect me to this day, even though it's been about 17 years. But it ain't nothing like that love from a granny, man. And you know, him losing his granny, listen, that'll damage a person a lot, though, man. A lot of people don't understand that. That's why a lot of people really don't understand NBA YoungBoy, man. That's just one of the reasons.
Felt that feeling again. Only time I ever feel love is when I walk on stage.
Growing up, he was closest to his older brother Pierre, who would have a lot of responsibility being the oldest of 10 siblings and half-siblings.
I didn't even know
when
that.
Kentrell was 7 years old, he came to Pierre on the porch with a notebook and told him he wanted to be a rapper, being inspired by his biological mom, who used to be a rapper as well.
He started off writing in the composition notebook. We was on the porch. He came to me with this composition notebook, and he was like, you know,
and we can drag one of these corporate
ad. They hit me with an ad.
That's cold.
I can't be mad.
You know, this is what he gonna do.
He began writing his first raps over the coming years, but was still a child and didn't take it 100% serious yet. As he and his brother got older, there's no question that the street life would influence them, but it wasn't always that way. In fact, they would try at an early age to make legitimate money by cutting neighbors' lawns for $7 each. This obviously didn't last long, as it simply wasn't enough money to keep them out of trouble.
It's either jail or death, like Lily.
They started stealing bikes and car batteries at a young age, eventually leading up to home break-ins. Wow. He would eventually drop out of school in the 9th grade and start taking rap more serious. This was around the time his grandmother would pass away from heart failure, leaving Kentrell nowhere to go.
And that's exactly like I said earlier, you know, his grandma dying like that, the only person he really felt that love from, you know, that's gonna damage a person. He gonna start doing some, you know, some things that his granny probably wouldn't have been so proud of him, you know, doing. But you know, that's the change, that's the damage that comes with it, man. Somebody that was that close to him, that really had that love for him like that, and he had love for him, man, losing that, come on.
This was around the time his grandmother would pass away from heart failure, leaving Control nowhere to go. Control would move in with his half-brother Pierre and Pierre's mother Monique, who would be like a second mom to him, even referring to her as mom. At 12 years old, Pierre and Control would be having a conversation about life when Pierre told him not to worry, we're never going to be broke again. This conversation would lead to the beginning of the NBA slogan, starting with just the two of them and then expanding to his cousins and younger brothers as well. Monique, who saw the hard work they had been putting in, would fund their first official studio session and also help them buy a microphone from Walmart. Looking up to other Baton Rouge rappers like Lil Fat, Fredo Bang, and G Money, who was one of his first mentors, he started to craft.
It's like NBA YoungBoy's relationship with TBG, man. And I said this before, I feel like TBG really taught YoungBoy a lot. You know, because he was really the youngin in the whole group. You know, Fredo and G was older, so I mean he obviously learned a lot from G Money and Fredo. You know, obviously now they had a big fallout about it, man. But you know that's definitely a part of his come up, man. Him and G, they was real close.
Rappers like Lil Fat, Fredo Bang, and G Money, who was one of his first mentors, he started to craft his style. Wasting no time, YoungBoy put his first official song out on YouTube titled For a Reason. You see his potential even this early on.
YouTube, the only platform that I could just run to and drop and let you, just get whatever it is, like ASAP.
Pierre, better known as NBA 3, would take the role as manager in all things business. He started printing over 1,000 CDs of YoungBoy's music and passing them around Baton Rouge. This gave them their very first but also small fan base. Soon as YoungBoy was...
You know what, though? And that's the thing, man. It's funny because you look at artists in Baton Rouge, man. You look at Master P and the No Limit Gang. You look at Boosie and Webby. And now, NBA YoungBoy and the NBA, TBG and everybody, man. Baton Rouge really got some hustlers, man. I'm telling you. Them boys, listen, when they got a goal, listen, they'll do anything. Listen, if you got to sell 1,000 mixtapes in your neighborhood, in your city, man, listen, you gonna hand them out the trunk, man. You gonna do what you gotta do. It's hustlers down there, man, for sure.
Baton Rouge. This gave them their very first but also small fan base. Soon as YoungBoy was really starting to consistently make music, he would have his first run-in with the law, putting him in juvie for 6 months for a break-in.
I ain't gonna say it was the best thing that happened to me, but shit, it helped me know my purpose. It helped me know what I want to do.
While in jail, he had time to write raps and work on his lyricism, so he could be ready to drop music on his release. While 3 is promoting the music and doing the groundwork, YoungBoy would be released from juvie and drop his first ever mixtape, titled Before the Fame.
Man, YoungBoy. Man, what was that?
Which was very fitting.
Before Fame was really everything. That was like, it was the breaking point of the whole NBA career, like never broke in itself.
When it came to work ethic, he looked up to rappers like Jeezy and liked how he was known for dropping back-to-back mixtapes. He knew he wanted to do something similar by flooding the streets with music.
It's funny because, YoungBoy, even from the time at this point when he was a youngin' like that, man, at that point, dropping like he did consistently like that, he still does it even today. 4-5 years later, he's still dropping. Look how many times he dropped in the past year. Come on now. You got to give this man his credit, man. He been doing his thing. And it's funny, like looking at YoungBoy right here. This is probably like his rookie years, and it's like looking at him now, it's like, man, it's like two different people. You got to really watch NBA YoungBoy really grow right before our eyes, man. We ain't even really notice his evolution. It's like you don't notice it until you look back on moments like this. Like, man, he was really a youngin' when he got in this. Now, like, listen, now he a grown man. Come on now.
Spent the next year dropping mixtapes and trying to build a buzz outside his local area of Baton Rouge, dropping Mind of a Menace 1, then 2, and later Before I Go. By now he's gained enough credits to start catching the attention of mainstream artists and a much wider variety of fans, reaching outside his home state. Kevin Gates and Boosie would be some of the first major artists to hop on a song with him and give him his first cosign.
Gates told me to keep working. Boosie, he just told me he could show me some things.
As well as Meek Mill, who is said to have been one of the first people to discover him and give him the name YoungBoy early on. In October 2016, he dropped his breakthrough mixtape 38 Baby,
Classic.
which should really be considered an album for how well put together it was.
Classic.
The tracklist included one of his breakthrough songs.
And that 38 Baby project, man, and the reason why I say it's such a classic, and even Dog said, you know, it was well put together. It's like some songs on there that is really slept on. One in particular, I'd say Gravity. When I reacted to Gravity a couple months ago, man. I was actually surprised. I was like, man, I've never heard this song before. But you know, and it was crazy because YoungBoy being so young, you know, and that song right there is a prime example of, as young as he was, man, he was way ahead of his time. Like that song, that was like the perfect example of somebody who could have been in the game for about 10, 15 years. He was rapping like that at what, 15 years old? 15, 16 years old, rapping about that pain, rapping about that realness, man. I'm telling you, if y'all haven't heard it yet, man, listen to Gravity.
Be considered an album for how well put together it was. The tracklist included one of his breakthrough songs, 38 Baby, which would later earn him his first gold recording plaque. With the success of this tape, and a little buzz off some rap beefs, it would put his name into a whole new audience of people, gaining him a ton of new fans. Although he was only 17 at the time, his music sounded like it was coming from someone much older because of how raw, spiritual, and emotional it was.
Facts.
Which we can trace back to his very real childhood.
I just said that, man. Listen, I just said that. It's like his music has always been ahead of his time. And I said this so many times in like all my NBA YoungBoy reactions, man. I'm like, for somebody who's really only been, you know, on in the industry for like the last 4-5 years, you know, he rapping like he a real, like a vet in this, man. Like he on that level of, you know, man, some people might get mad. I used to say, you know, as far as nowadays, man, I would kind of put him in that same bracket as, you know, what Wayne had back in 08. I think YoungBoy got it now. A lot of people don't really want to admit that, but me being 20, let's see, I'll be 26 this week. I'll be 26 years old this week. And it's like a lot of people my age kind of still, you know, like honestly give Wayne his flowers, man. Wayne is a legend in it. But, you know, Wayne really held it down back in like 2007, 2008. YoungBoy doing his thing here in, you know, 2020. These past few years, man, YoungBoy been doing his thing, man. Come on.
Although he was only 17
Ahead
at
of
the
his
time, his
time.
music sounded like it was coming from someone much older because of how raw, spiritual, and emotional it was.
Facts.
Which we can trace back to his very real childhood. This would be enough for him to catch the attention of multiple major labels, who would soon be calling. He would also officially change his name to YoungBoy Never Broke Again to avoid any issues with the National Basketball League. Although he's still considered NBA YoungBoy to everyone else. In an interview with XXL in 2016, he stated, "I'm going to be the next new thing that you see in rap. I'm YoungBoy." On November 28, 2016, NBA YoungBoy was arrested before a show in Austin, Texas. He was booked for 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder and held on a $200,000 bond. Although he was only 17, he could be tried as an adult for attempted murder. He went from the biggest new artist in rap scene to possibly facing life imprisonment. Just as everyone thought he would take a break from dropping music, he ended 2016 with yet 2 more projects, Mind of a Menace 3 and Before I Go Reloaded, which added up to over 6 mixtapes in a 1-year span. Something that very few rappers are capable.
He was working, man, and that's exactly what I said earlier in the video too, man. Like NBA YoungBoy, he's never really lost touch with, you know, staying consistent.
Able to get away with.
A lot of new artists, when as big as 38 Baby was, man, some of these new rappers nowadays, they would have just took that and just, you know, they would have went MIA for like a year, you know, spent some of that money that they made off that project. No, NBA YoungBoy, man, he stayed working. Years later, still working. Come on.
2 of them being released from behind bars. This was a scary situation, though. If YoungBoy was convicted, his career and everything he worked for could potentially end. He would be held until May of 2017 for when he faced his trial. Fortunately, he was released after taking a plea deal and immediately dropped his single Untouchable, which had a lot of messages hidden inside it. One of them saying, "I'll never jeopardize it again," where we can assume he was talking about his situation. At this point, what more could he have proven at 18 years old? Although that wouldn't be the last time YoungBoy would get into trouble, he has not come close to being charged with something this serious since. In 2018, he announced his first studio album, Until Death Call My Name. It featured artists like Future, Birdman, Lil Uzi, and Offset, solidifying his spot in the mainstream. From there forward, YoungBoy didn't even come close to stopping. He knew it was his time, dropping back-to-back mixtapes and EPs where he would go platinum in the streets and then platinum on the charts.
I just knew at one point it wasn't no stopping me. You hear me? I knew that this moment was gonna come, nigga, to put me right there with you.
To date, YoungBoy has more gold and platinum plaques than you could probably imagine, and he has been consistently the most viewed YouTube artist for over 2 years straight, pulling over 50 million views a week. There's no denying what YoungBoy has accomplished is insane. All of this happened while spending a majority of his career either locked up or on house arrest. showing us nothing is impossible, even at a young age, but it wasn't easy.
I feel like, and I said this before too, man, NBA YoungBoy, it's like a lot of people hate on it. He's one of the artists where I feel like he gets so much love, but then again he gets so much hate at the same time, and I just don't understand why a lot of people hate on YoungBoy. I feel like a lot of people hate on him because they don't really want to admit, you know, his place in history, man. We're gonna look back on NBA YoungBoy 20 years from now and be like, man, he really held it down. Like, man, nobody was doing numbers like him, man. Nobody was dropping as consistently as he was, man. Because when I was growing up, man, you know, it was Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane was dropping all the time. Gucci Mane, Jeezy, man, Wayne, they stayed dropping, you know. And I look at that and I compare it to YoungBoy and what he's doing now, man. He's definitely gonna solidify himself as you know, as one of the GOATs, man, one of the legends. And I feel like, man, a lot of people need to really give him his roses, man. Don't wait until this man gone one day, man, and then be like, oh, yeah, he was cool, man. He actually was consistent with it all. Give him that love right now, man. Stop hating on YoungBoy, man. He doing his thing. Link down below in the description. This was a nice little put together documentary, man. It looked like I was watching a little TV show, man. I actually like it, man. Link down below in the description for the full documentary uninterrupted, man. If y'all new to the channel, y'all rock with me. Want daily reaction videos and hip-hop news, hit that subscribe button for me. Until the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching MANIACITV. I'm out.
I ain't gotta do too much. I swear that these niggas, they be doing too much. I ain't gotta